You know what? I've been watching some of y'all out there dragging old Governor Cox of Utah over the coals. You know, he just made a public announcement in regards to the political assassination.
What's up, YouTube family? I'm back yet again with another video. I send greetings to you all from whichever part of the world you're watching me from. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, on our today's episode, we're going to discuss a bit of a sensitive topic, whereby the governor of Utah, that is Governor Cox, made some pronouncements during the media brief in public together with the FBI Director Patel, and he said something that sparked a lot of emotions, as you've seen from the previous clip, that he was praying for 33 hours straight that the shooter who shot Charles Kirk last week was not one of them. So here is the whole issue. Who was he thinking that person was, and why? How people interpret this statement somehow varies with the things that are going on in the states, things like racism and all that. And I'm just thinking, was he thinking the shooter was black, maybe Latino, or an immigrant, or what did he really mean when he said, "I was hoping he was not one of us"? But you and I can all guess that you know what he was referring to and what that meant. But still, you can tell me your thoughts down below in the comment section. Let's have a discussion and yeah, see a few clips from that. If you're watching me for the first time, my name is Dave KE, and this is Real Talk Black, where we keep it legit, we keep it real, and we discuss all issues that are affecting, the black community and the world, especially in the United States. So yeah, take a minute to like, subscribe, and share so that I get motivated to produce more content like this. So let's watch the videos and then have a roundup on the same.
You know what? I've been watching some of y'all out there dragging old Governor Cox of Utah over the coals. You know, he just made a public announcement in regards to the political assassination, is what he called it, of Charlie Kirk. And he stated that he was praying that it wasn't one of us. You know, that statement alone can swing in so many different directions. Here's my direction. I think the conservatives, who are white, are completely dumbfounded that they are finally in full circle at looking at themselves in the mirror. You got the suspect that had been groomed in a Republican family. He was raised around guns, and this has come full circle for these Republicans to look at themselves in the face to see the product of the environment that they have produced. If you ask me, political assassinations have happened quite often in the black community. My suggestion to you is pull up a seat.
We got him? He's Muslim, right? Black? Latino? At least he's an immigrant. What do you mean he's from Utah? At least he's trans? Guys. Okay, does he use pronouns? What do you mean everybody uses pronouns? At least he's a radical leftist? He's not a leftist? He's not even a Democrat? Guys, is this the same exact person as last time? A different one? How am I supposed to spin this? What do you want me to do? Lord, you know I prayed that it wouldn't be one of ours. Okay, give me a second to think. What would the president do? What would the president do? What would the president do? Okay, I think I got it, you guys. We're gonna blame the mental health crisis, and then we're gonna gut all the funding to all of the social programs.
Utah Governor Spencer Cox said some pretty horrendous, racist, divisive stuff the other day, and he's so unself-aware he didn't even seem to realize it. However, he did also say something commendable, and I think it's important to give credit where credit's due, especially when it comes from a far-right politician. He said that we should all be aware of Chinese Russian social media accounts that are attempting to divide America. A little bit of an irony, prior to finding out who the shooter was, Spencer Cox was parroting Chinese and Russia talking points. What do you know? But here's the thing, Spencer Cox. It doesn't do any good to tell Americans to watch out for Russian Chinese social media accounts trying to divide America because they don't have a banner on those social media accounts saying that. What you actually have to tell them is that those accounts are going to look like them. They're all the way back to 2016 and Paul Manafort giving polling data to the Russians. What these accounts do is look at your algorithm, see what you're watching, and then reflect you with similar interests, but push them in a divisive nature. For example, if you are a far right-leaning person who looks at a lot of Trump stuff, they will now pose and say, hey, can you believe the shooter was a totally far-left lunatic? That is not true. But you will feed upon it. So too, if you're on the left and they see that you're a leftist, they will feed you the shooter was a pro-Trump supporter that he gave to Trump. That's also not true. And people will eat that up. Until people begin to realize that how these social media accounts work is by playing to their dopamine hits and leading you in a more extreme direction, not with discourse, not with long-winded, in my case, descriptions of things, but with short, meme-like, jingoistic slogans that feel good to read and pull you further into anger. Until people recognize when that's happening to pull back and look for more depthful information, it doesn't do any good to point out where it's coming from. This is how Americans got duped into following Trump. They don't care that it's the Chinese and Russians doing it in order to divide America. Now they are on the water slide going down. They just want to feel good. And what feels good is to hate without thinking, like Spencer Cox did.
I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us, that somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered.
For him to say he really prayed that it wasn't one of them says so much, right? Like he really thought it was going to be a Democrat. Or better yet, he wanted to be a person of color. He wanted to be an immigrant. He wanted to be someone who was trans. Whatever, he wanted to be nothing but what it was, a white Republican who was heavy in MAGA. No, couldn't be. And it's crazy how now you want to switch up your tune and you want peace. When we should have had peace in the first place, we should have been talking about unity. But no, it wasn't an individual, it was a group of people. I mean, everybody, those liberals, I mean, all the past 2 days have been nothing but people basically making lists of Black and brown creators that they wanted to and more. I mean, I seen a woman literally almost bust a blood vessel screaming about how dare Democrats do this. And look what we have here. It's so quick for them to go ahead and accuse anybody but themselves when it's showing that the violent party is not the Democrats. It's not. But yeah, and let's not forget this dude right here. If he don't look just crazy, I don't know what crazy is. But anyway, y'all have a good day.
So now that we know what we know, now that we know for sure what we know, this, and including this.
For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us, that somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for.
What does any of it have to do with HBCUs? I need someone to answer that. I need someone from their side of the aisle to come and tell me, what does any of that have to do with HBCUs? This was the outcome of a MAGA on MAGA crime. This was the outcome of a feud between the Charlie Kirk camp and the Nick Fuentes camp. And I'd be remiss if I didn't remind you, it happened in Utah. Ain't no HBCUs in Utah. Ain't no HBCUs nowhere near Utah. So I'm going to say it out loud, since probably come tomorrow or some point next week, I'm going to lose this account because they're going to go through all of our videos and search for political things and then ban us. So I'm fully mentally prepared to lose this account. So I might as well go out with a scream and a yell, even though I can't, but you know what I mean. Need someone from MAGA to come and explain to me, like a grown-up, explain it to me like I'm 5, what any of this ever or does or did have to do with HBCUs or Black people at all. Let me know.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are once again. I'm still in shock and I'm still wondering why would the governor of Utah be openly racist and make such, statements in public. Why would you openly go out there and state your stance against the other community and show you are, somehow white supremacy? White supremacy has been there for a long time, and the whites have, been the know-it-all and have it all. Unfortunately, his prayer, I grew up in a Pentecostal family and I've listened to a lot of prayer. I do not know which type of prayer he was saying that he was hoping he wasn't, one of them. Maybe he was hoping he was a person of a person of color, an immigrant, Latino, Mexican, or that was his hope. But to his surprise, the shooter was one of them. Was actually a MAGA supporter and a young man who was a Republican, as you can see from the videos and clips all there. So mine is just to condemn such utterances and do not always associate the evil things or the bad things to the Black community. It's time the whites and the white supremacists, give up on this idea that they try to tarnish the Black community as as bad people, and those who are involved in all that. So yeah, that is it for today. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video.